Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Taanit. We are up to Perek Aleph Mishnah Gimel. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana Aranbayev and Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelov Menuchatam Began Eden Amen and Leavdi ben Chaim Nechaim v'Refuah Shnema B'Chabat Esther and Daniel Shalom ben Rosa Betoch Shar Chulei Israel. Having discussed when we stop asking for rain at the end of the winter, the Mishnah discusses when we begin asking for rain. The Mishnah begins, Bishlosha b'Marcheshvan shoalin et geshamim. We begin to ask for rain in the Shmona Esrei prayer by adding and give dew and rain for a blessing on the third day of the month of Marcheshvan. That is 11 days after Shmini Atzeret. This is the proper time to begin asking for rain because it is the start of the rainy season, as Rashi explains on page 4b in Masechet Taanit. Rabban Gamliel Omer b'Shiv'a bo. Rabban Gamliel says we begin asking for rain on the 7th day of Marcheshvan. 15 Yom Achar Echag, which is 15 days after the festival, meaning after Shmini Atzeret. Shmini Atzeret falls on the 22nd day of Tishrei, which is 8 days before the end of the month. Tishrei in ancient times was generally 30 days long, and according to the fixed Jewish calendar now in use, it is always 30 days long. Therefore, the 15th day after Shmini Atzeret is the 7th of Marcheshvan. These dates, the 3rd and 7th of Marcheshvan, are for those living in Eretz Israel. The Jews of Babylonia who lived in low, well-watered lands did not need rain so early in the year. Therefore, they did not start asking for rain until the 60th day after the Tishrei season begins, which is 60 days after the autumn equinox. Nowadays, all places outside of Eretz Israel begin asking for rain according to the custom of Babylonia, as the Halacha is written in Orach Chaim, chapter 117, Halacha 1. It should be noted, the Art Scroll Notes tells us that the 60th day after the autumn equinox, which is September 21st, falls on November 19. However, the custom is not to begin asking for rain, saying Ten Tal Matal Leverchan, till December 5th or 6th in this century. The reason for this is complicated and has to do with different systems for calculating the seasons for calendar purposes, as well as the change from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, late 16th century. And for a fuller explanation, see Tractate Taanit of the Hebrew Art Scroll, 10a note 40. But again, we're going to keep it simple with the Mishnah. So the Mishnah says, Rabban Gamliel Omer, Rabban Gamliel says, B'Shiv'a bo, we begin asking for rain on the 7th day of Marcheshvan, 15 Yom Achar Chag, which is 15 days after the festival, after Shmini Atzeret, Kedei she'yagia acharon she'b'Yisrael ninahal perat, so that the last pilgrims of Israel, as they travel home after celebrating the festival in Yerushalayim, can reach the Euphrates River, which is the northernmost point in Eretz Israel, before we start asking for rain. Since it takes 15 days to reach the farthest parts of the country from Yerushalayim, it would be improper to ask for rain during those 15 days, because if our prayers were to be answered immediately, the roads would become wet and muddy for those still traveling. And that is in Rabotai of Mishnah Gimel. Mishnah Daled continues, if rain does not fall by a certain time, a series of fasts is decreed. Higia Shiva Asar b'Marcheshvan v'lo yardu geshamim. If the 17th of Marcheshvan arrived and the rains had not yet fallen, now in a normal year in a year of normal rainfall, the early rains come in 3 stages. The first rains of the season fall by the 3rd of Marcheshvan, the second rains by the 7th of Marcheshvan, and the third rains by the 17th of the month. Therefore, if no rain has fallen by the 17th, it is an early sign that the weather patterns for the year are not as they should be, which is a matter of general concern. So Mishnah says, Itzchilu ha'yichidim mit'anin shalosh ta'aniyot. The individuals, the outstanding Torah scholars, begin to observe 3 fasts. They fast on the first Monday after the 17th, the following Thursday, and the Monday after that. The fasts were held on Mondays and Thursdays for the following reason. When Moshe went up to Mount Sinai to receive the second pair of tablets, he went on a Thursday and came down with them on a Monday, which is Yom Kippur. Since those were days of heavenly mercy and forgiveness, the sages chose them for Torah readings and fast days, as Tosfot explained in Masechet Baba Kama, page 82a. Ochlin v'shotin mishechashecha. On these fast days, they may eat and drink after nightfall, meaning they may eat throughout the night before the fast, because the fast does not begin until dawn. During the night before a fast, a person may eat up until he goes to sleep. Once he goes to sleep, though, he may not eat even if he wakes up before dawn, because it is assumed that he committed himself to start fasting as soon as he went to sleep. However, the Rav does point out, if he intended before going to sleep to wake up and eat before dawn, he is permitted to eat until dawn when the fast actually begins. Again, on these fast days, they may eat and drink after nightfall. They may eat throughout the night before the fast, because the night fast does not begin until dawn. And during the fasting, they are permitted to work, to bathe in hot water, to anoint themselves with oil, to wear their shoes, and to have marital relations. Although these activities are forbidden on the more stringent fast days, such as some of the communal fasts mentioned later in this chapter, as well as Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av, they are permitted here. And that is an abotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.